are we trying to get from these interviews?
Do you want to go first?
If money affects people, particularly young people, connecting with nature.
Like just having how young people, what stop them? Like if it's just money or if it's other problems, for example accessibility, if that's either a time thing or money thing, or if it's both. Our plan was to get the views from the general public. That was one.
The first question, how has time and money affected you connecting to nature?
Well, I guess I live in London, so I'd have to commute to get to anything nature. I'm at uni full time and work as well, so I guess money and time is just kind of the same thing for me. Like if I had the time to go and do it, I wouldn't have the money to go and do it.
I guess the pursuit of money has really been an overwhelming factor. Obviously, in the back of my mind, nature is something which is crucial, but it just seems to be like the forefront, having the pressures of family, bills, and everything costing more, and the challenges of meeting in those costs. So, yeah, the pursuit of money has been superseding nature.
Do you think more money is put into businesses than nature in your local community, and why?
Saving the animals, building new trees for the environment, I don't think money is being put into that because a lot of people right now, they don't really care about that.
Yes, more money is put into business because we're a very capitalist society. I think sometimes we need to be a bit more educated, and I think that's probably what's lacking. Education.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it's just what sells, and like we live in a capitalistic society, obviously. So I guess if nature isn't making money, then we can't invest in it.
Yeah, it surprised me how kind of engaged the public were to nature and how kind of on it. And they knew that there was a problem and they knew that it needed to be addressed. And I thought it was really. It made me happy. Like listening to their answers and like knowing just like the normal person that you think actually doesn't care about nature and isn't engaged actually probably is.
The gentleman in the second interview, where he was talking about capitalism, which that's my whole reason behind choosing this topic, is because I believe everything is run with business and money in mind. So if something doesn't make money, they wouldn't attention and money would be put into it because they don't they want to receive more than they give. So if they give 50, they want 100 back. The other person we're going to interview is a volunteer, so someone who takes their time and money to do something they don't get paid for. So we want to see their point of view as well. So you volunteer, yeah? So I just want to know, why do you volunteer?
I've got to like learn how to kind of use like tools that I don't get to use otherwise, and meet loads of people in the area, and it's so nice to connect with other people from South London, which is really great and I really enjoy. So yeah, it's fun and you feel like you're giving back and you're kind of doing some exercise and you're spending a bit of time not at a desk or at a computer.
Why do you think a lot of the volunteers are of an older generation and not the younger?
Because they have more time. It's only since I started working part-time and I'm now unemployed that I've been able to volunteer more. When I was working full-time, it just wasn't practical, and I think often people of an older generation have a bit more flexibility, they have a bit more security and stability, so they're able to kind of get involved.
How does money affect your relationship to nature?
I guess something that's quite interesting is, when you see an area of London where they've like the council or someone has invested in like putting a little wildflower meadow there, my first thought is, oh, that's so great for the bees and other pollinators, but then like your second thought is, oh, this is gentrification, this area that that people in this area, house prices are going to be pushed up and people are going to be forced to move out, which then makes me kind of sad. So there is this kind of like power balance that comes with kind of conservation and money, and people kind of being pushed out of their homes or where they are because places are becoming nicer and greener. So that's quite, I think, quite a difficult thing to navigate. I don't really know what the right solution for that would be.
That's great. Thank you for the interview.
Okay.
Yep.
But with the volunteer, her views were kind of similar.
Her views were interesting, but they weren't personal to young people, I don't think.
Having the ability to take time and money out to do certain things, her views are slightly different. But for me personally, I had very similar views to how the public had.
So like nature is probably important to more people than you actually
Yeah.
think. It's just
There's other things in society that takes priority.
Yeah.
That's the only issue.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. And I think it's like, even if you do care about nature, so like a lot of people do care about nature. And when the first girl said that if you don't have time, then you have the money, and if you don't have the money, then you have the time. Is that always that like catch-22? Where if you're like not working, then you have absolutely no money. So like all your money is going on to like food, rent, like all the essentials, and then
because everything costs so much. That's like I said, everything just goes back to itself. Everything costs so much, so you have to work harder, and you work harder, you take up more time. The more time you take, the less time you have to actually go out and check something. Yeah.
Excellent.